Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone Circuit for today's Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit then. It's 3.6 miles long and has a total of 18 corners. And of course, is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar Straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Let's talk about Gardner. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Gardner, Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Bottas, Ricciardo, Gasly, Ocon, and Daniel Kvyat, Albon, Stroll, Charles Leclerc, and Perez. Sainz, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. De Vries, Giuliano Alesi, and Nicholas Latifi. Matsushita, Magnussen, Joe, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
In this weather, I'll try not to, Jeff. Welcome everybody to another F1 2020 My Team JDM racing video. We're at Silverstone for Great Britain and the British Grand Prix. We're in 3rd place behind our teammate Lewis Hamilton on pole, and we couldn't extract any more out of the car than what we did. So we were 6 thousandths of a second behind George Russell in the Mercedes. Max Verstappen was in 4th, so he's not. I mean, he has been looking quick, but for whatever reason in Q3 he couldn't get it together. It is extremely wet up until the end of the race, which goes mixed conditions. So we're just going to go with the full wet, no pit stops, duke it out on the track, and see with Mercedes again, and see if we can come out on top. I mean, there's 3 British drivers in the top 4. I'd hope that one of them, or one of us at least, will get the home win. I can't know even it's going to be me or Lewis, not George. And let's see what happens. Let's do it. Alright, we get going. Looks like George got a good start. We also get a good start. Really good start. Up the inside of Lewis. Stab the brakes on. George and Lewis collide. We go back up the outside of Max. Wow. So George Russell and Lewis Hamilton collide. Verstappen we tangle with as well.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
I am watching Max Verstappen, Jeff, don't you worry about that. Just aquaplane straight off there. So much traction out of that last corner. Oh, we glide straight off. The car wouldn't grip there. can't treat it like you do in the dry, because you will just glide and aquaplane straight off the circuit. On the grass. We go a little bit wide there. So going to put us under a little bit of pressure from Max. Ever so slightly falling off the back of these front two.
Russell has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Was a bit of a scruffy lap from us, that last one.
Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well. The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Extremely consistent from all four up the front here.
Lewis is putting in some really quick lap times. He's the fastest man on the track at the moment.
Oh, I feel like the rear tyres are dying now. Slid off. It's going to give Max an opportunity. He's got the slipstream. We're using the ERS to defend.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race.
Defended from Verstappen. Rear tyres have gone off. Verstappen's going to try something, I'm sure. This is vital for the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. You can see our car is trying to swap ends now. Still there.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.6 seconds.
Lewis Hamilton gets his first win for JDM.
Well done, good
We get on the
finish.
podium.
You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
And we beat Max Verstappen.
There's a few disappointed faces up and down the pit wall after that one, but not here. They secured a phenomenal victory. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions
Team
are
with
like
the wet
this,
weather
but
jackets
they've
on.
managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
Lando 5th, the other British driver.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
So no Max Verstappen on the podium. George Russell there celebrating his best result of the season, I believe. We come home third again. Lewis with the win.
And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Gardner increases their championship lead. Now let's discuss, Ants, who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Let's move on to the Constructors. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Right, so Lewis with the victory is first for the team, and he finishes just less than a second in front of George Russell. Stayed with him the whole way. We were pretty much right on George Russell's tail until our tyres went off into the last two laps. We had to fight to keep Max Verstappen back, which we did. That's a good result for the team, outscoring Mercedes again. Max Verstappen does get the extra point, as is kind of customary at the moment. All of the extra points that he's getting are going to add up at the end of the season, so it's very difficult. It's almost like he's going to have an extra, I don't know, 10 points in the bag just from fastest laps. He's been that fast this season. So that's going to be difficult to try and pull back. We've just got to try and be more consistent, which I think we have been. So that's what's going to pay us back. Lando in the McLaren gets a really good result again. Pierre Gasly scores his first points for a while, I think, as well. The two Renaults closing out the points, and Bottas again in the points. Mr. Dependable doing a great job this year in the Racing Point. Ricciardo in the Red Bull also doing good as well. Sainz in the other Red Bull, not quite so good. Ferraris still, unless they get some kind of upgrades, I don't see how they're going to get out of that midfield. They've been terrible. In terms of standings, we are 25 points ahead of Max Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton brings himself a bit closer with that race win. George Russell also closing himself up. In the Constructors, we extend the gap to 91 points over Mercedes, which is good news for us as well. I'm not going to lie, I kind of thought we might be in for getting the lead of the race here, and we saw the front two tap each other, and then just had to concentrate on getting back in front of Max Verstappen, which we did, and then after that just trying to follow the front two, which we did. But I think at the end of the day the tyre wear just caught up with us a little bit. And there's our new sponsor that's replaced Zanzer, Moon, above the top of the engine cover there. Gone for a slightly more ambitious set of objectives, but we're going to have more money for it as well. And Lewis Hamilton, after re-signing his contract, gets the race win. So that extra stability from getting him until the end of the season, he pays us back with those 25 points. So, another successful weekend, another podium in the bag, another race win for the team in the bag. And do you know what? Thinking about it, I'm thinking that might be the first non-Garbo win for the team. I'll have to check that, but I'm pretty sure Lewis has taken that accolade of scoring the first win that wasn't me for the team. In which case, congrats to Lewis. It's been long overdue, to be fair, but he, at his home race, he always turns it on at his home race, so fair play to Lewis for that one. Like I said, we've got him signed up to the end of the season now as well, so maybe he's gonna try and mount a championship challenge himself. We'll have to see. Right, so if you enjoyed the video, why not drop a like? And if you're not subscribed, why not subscribe to stay up to date with all the JDM racing action that's going on in this championship fight. We're going to be having more videos coming very, very soon. So if I can talk properly, it would help. And until next time, take care and thanks for watching. See you later, guys.